This is Northeast Michigan's best news source. You're waking up to WBKB Early Morning, your first look at news, weather, and sports. This is Early Morning.
We might be enjoying the warmer weather, but with the warmer weather comes thawing, and the Coast Guard is warning against thin ice. Plus, fifth graders at LOI Elementary School are working to help solve local environmental problems one fish at a time. And educators have chosen a new textbook series for area schools that will move reading instruction to the next level. Good morning and thanks for joining us. I'm Ashley Reed. For a first look at the weather, let's check in with meteorologist Adam Claiborne.
All right, good morning to you, Ashley. Let's go ahead and take a look at what's happening with our current temperatures. Not too bad. 43 degrees, west-northwest winds. All right, 6 miles per hour. Do have a few clouds out there, but more clouds are on the way throughout the afternoon. So don't worry if you are a clouds fan. And also don't worry if you are a cold weather fan, because that is on the way as well. And we'll see that more by this evening and tonight. But you can take a look at this disturbance. Seems like some moisture is starting to push its way over Wisconsin, and it looks to be all rain, and that is indicated by the green. That will sag to the south. Not going to be noticing that throughout the day, maybe a few sprinkles or maybe even a few flurries, but as this all heads to the south, colder air will start to make its way in from the northwest, and then we'll be expecting that tonight will be a very chilly one. 39 degrees for afternoon high. A pretty dreary day as clouds will stay overcast throughout the afternoon, and by tonight, that's when we will see temperatures start to fall back off in the lower teens. 12 degrees for our overnight low tonight, and we'll be watching out for maybe even some snow showers by early Wednesday.
All right, thanks, Adam. Well, living in a tech-savvy age has its benefits, but with an increase in teen use of the internet, state police are warning against its dangers. Statistics show nearly 3 in 10 parents let their children use the internet without any restrictions or supervision. Michigan State Police say they are trying to remind parents that while the internet is a useful tool, it can be a dangerous place for children. Trooper Ashley Simpson for the Michigan State Police Alpena Post says, quote, "Prevention and awareness are key to deterring online predators and exposure to inappropriate material," end quote. Simpson suggests parents implement a few safety tips to keep their children safe, including placing computers in a common area to allow supervision, timing internet use, creating a family email address, and talking with your children about internet dangers. Simpson also encourages parents to monitor mobile devices such as cell phones, gaming devices, and laptops where internet can be accessed. And with our recent increase in temperatures this past week, the United States Coast Guard station in Alpena is warning individuals to be careful while on Lake Huron. Recently, temperatures have been above average in our area, and with these warmer temps, the ice on the lake can become unreliable. The Coast Guard is urging people who are going out on the lake to be mindful of the changing weather conditions and the dangers that come with it.
People are venturing out on the Great Lakes, which they never have done back in years past. So I want to caution people that it is dangerous out there. It's very unpredictable. You can go out a few miles, you can have a wind shift, stuff can break up, and it is extremely dangerous.
Subislay says the Coast Guard responds to hundreds of search and rescue cases throughout the Great Lakes during the winter season. Those who do decide to walk out on the lake should dress for the water temperature, not the inland temperature. Beware of the changing temperature and wind changes, and let someone know where you will be at all times. And a group of 5th grade students in Alpena have a big project underway.
And our motto is saving sturgeon one step at a time.
Mr. Thompson's 5th grade class at LOI is helping our local environmental problems one fish at a time. His class was selected as one of 7 in the state to raise a lake sturgeon and educate other classrooms about the importance of returning the fish to their original population.
At the beginning of the year, we kind of talked about it with the students and said, hey, this could be a really good opportunity for us to do something that nobody else is doing, so let's give it a shot. And it's been pretty successful.
But with raising a lake sturgeon comes responsibilities.
We have to feed him, wash or clean the tank, and check the water and make sure he's doing fine and he's not sick or anything.
And also comes learning. The class has maintained weekly feed charts, growth data, and a healthy habitat, integrating math and science into this project. Lake sturgeon are an endangered species, and these students have made it their responsibility to help save these fish, which can be used to control invasive species.
One of the reasons that sturgeon are going endangered is because since they live so long, which is a really good thing, but also it's a really bad thing because they reach maturity. They can only lay eggs when they're 20 years old. So if someone kills them before they're 20 years old,
The students have created this transportation habitat that will be used to safely transport the lake sturgeon the 90 miles to his native region in the Black River. But now they need the community's help to fund the end of the year field trip, and thanks to DonorsChoose.org, they've almost reached their goal.
We've gotten a lot of great support from the community and lots of people signing in. I mean, we're over 10, 12 donors. And so that's been absolutely fantastic.
Even if it's a small little part, we're doing our part to get sturgeon back into the Great Lakes.
Ashley Reed, WBKB News.
And through DonationsChoose.org, the class has already raised $455. They only need 80 more to see their project come full circle. And after months of research, a team of educators has chosen a new textbook series for our area schools that will move reading instruction to the next level. After careful consideration of 4 different options, the team chose Benchmark Literacy by the benchmark education company IntegraSource. This series will be integrated into grades K through 12, replacing the current 1999 Basel reading series. The new program is structured around comprehension-focused lessons and will allow students to work in level texts that are specific to their learning level, which educators say will maximize the learning impact.
The reading levels will jump up the first year, but then the difference between this program and the other programs we chose, we felt like the other programs would ramp up the scores, but then they would hold steady. This will continue to ramp up until we can reach that Common Core state standard level.
The final decision was reached in a 21-6 vote and approved this morning by Alpena Public Schools Curriculum and Technology Committee. APS is still working with the vendor on pricing. While the district says the program is somewhat expensive, they believe it has what it takes to bring instruction to the next level. Teachers will begin training this spring or summer, and they hope to have the program 100% implemented by fall of 2015. And the Boys and Girls Club is getting ready for its 28th annual Mentoring for Kids' Sake bowling party on Friday at Thunderbolt Lanes. From 6 to 9 p.m. this Friday, kids and adults are welcome to pre-register for a team or come join the fun the day of for bowling and a night of bonding. This is one of the Boys and Girls Club's big fundraisers they hold each year. It's another great activity that helps better engage kids in the community by providing community-based mentors and adults who show their interest in them, and is just as much fun for the adults as it is for the kids.
It's fun for the adults to actually be engaged with the kids. You know, as we get older, we always kind of want to feel like a kid, you know, and the mentoring program is always gives caring adults in the community a way to give back to the next generation and really show kids and youth in the community that people do care about them.
Summers says that creating these bonds and symbiotic relationships helps the kids developmentally and relationship-wise. A lot of the times, adults can learn a lot from the kids as well. Everyone is invited to attend this bowling party on Friday. The Boys and Girls Club's next big fundraiser will be their Aplex dinner on May 9th. When WBKB Early Morning returns, I'll be joined by Melissa Tollen-Halleck from the Alpena Regional Medical Center to highlight 2 upcoming community events. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back. I'm Ashley Reed, and I'm joined here this morning by Melissa Tollen-Halleck, who is the Community Health Education Coordinator at ARMC. Good morning.
Good morning.
And I know you're here to talk about the March community health events that are going on, I guess, put on by the hospital that you help organize. So a big one that I want to touch on first is these community health walks. So I know you started them a couple years ago, then last year was kind of the first series. So tell me a little bit more about these walks.
We're excited to start the walks again. We're holding the first walk of this series on March 20th, which is springing back into spring with community walks on the first day of spring. The weather outside may not be spring-like, but we're going to pretend that it is. So these walks with the doc are, again, just to refresh, they are walks once a month. We'll do a walk. We have a physician that hosts each walk. And so they'll have a 10-minute, 15-minute presentation on a topic of their expertise. And so you get to meet physicians. It's really been a win-win. The physicians have really enjoyed it. They get to meet different people in the community on a level of, it's a fun experience. Yeah, it's more laid back. It's at a walking event, something they're promoting anyway with their patients. So they'll do a little presentation, 15-minute presentation talk, and then you can ask questions and so on. And then we also have giveaways. We'll have healthy snack, water, of course, and then we will have a mapped out route. This March 20th event will be at all of these next 3 events will be at the Aplex, at the Northern Lights Arena, actually,
So
at the
all
walking
inside.
track. Inside, unless the weather allows us to go outside, we're in a great location to be able to go on the bypass. So we will have both options available depending on weather. So it'll be indoor and or outdoor. And each time that you come, a bonus for this series is that we will have a Healthy Me package giveaway. So every time you come to a walk, you can register, put your name in the drawing, and on May 13th, our last walk of this series, we will be giving away a wellness package, and there are some surprises involved in that. I'm not going to unveil.
So we won't go into what's in the package, but it's exciting.
It's exciting, and it'll be surrounded by wellness, and it'll be local, and we just hope to see people out. It was a really great success last spring and last summer when we did this series, so we're looking forward to it.
Okay, and what are who are the doctors that are going to be at these next few series, especially this upcoming one, and what will the discussions be?
The doctor that will be at the March 20th walk will be Dr. Nicholson. He's our new pediatrician in town, and he's going to be talking about safe sleeping practices. It's a big topic right now. Do you sleep with a child? How do you put a child to bed? How do you put an infant to bed? So he'll talk about that, but he also will be available just to ask pediatric questions. You know, if you have other questions, or if you don't have a pediatric child, that's okay. It's nice just to meet a local doctor that's new in our community. And then the next walk will be Dr. Maxwell, and Dr. Maxwell will be in April, and he will be talking about, we have some new smoking cessation opportunities that will be available in our community, and he's going to be quite involved in those, so he'll be talking about that a bit. And then the walk in May will be one of our orthopedic physicians. There's maybe Dr. Dombrowski, maybe Cornish. One of the orthopedic physicians will be hosting that walk, and we'll be focusing on arthritis and Arthritis Awareness Month. And with that, we have a new program that will be starting up. It's a Walking with Ease program, so they'll promote that a lot at that walk.
And then do people need to register, or do they just show up, or how's that work?
You can just show up. It's 6:30. They're all at 6:30 p.m. And it's a 1 to 2 mile walk for any fitness level, and it's just a fun event.
Okay,
and
then
children, adults alike.
Okay, great. And then I know, real quick, I wanted to touch on, it's National Nutrition Month in the month of March, and I know the hospital is kind of promoting some things, and there's another event to kind of incorporate this whole month together with nutrition. So we don't have much time, but if you can hit on that for like a few seconds, that'd be awesome.
Yes. And the Enjoy the Taste of Eating Right is our event, and that event is going to be held on March 18th.
Okay.
You do have to call 356-8124 to register, but it's an eating workshop. So you'll learn how health affects our nutrition and then how to make our food taste good. And we'll focus on 4 different recipes. You'll get to go around, sample them, and talk to dietitians about that.
Okay, very neat. Well, thanks so much for
Thank
joining
you.
us. You're welcome. All right, well, sports is next with Shannon McGrath, and she'll let you know if the Posen ladies continue their winning streak on the basketball court. Stay right here on WBKB 11 for all that and more as the news continues.
Looking for win number 26, the ladies of Posen head north to St. Ignace for their first quarterfinal appearance in school history. However, in order to make it to Lansing, the Vikings must play lights out against ranked Crystal Falls Forest Park. Class D quarterfinal featuring Michigan State-bound Lexi Gusser of Forest Park taking on Posen. And a packed house in St. Ignace for this one. Trojans off to the fast start. Kendra Campbell to the rack. Vikings on the board courtesy of Austin Sharp getting the high scoop to fall. More running by Forest Park. Gusser with the right. She can ball, folks, but so can Corinne Hinska. Posen with the 1-point lead heading into the fourth quarter. But that's where the Trojans took over. Gusser stops, pops, gets the friendly roll. Hinska tries to keep the Vikings alive, but Forest Park wins it by double digits, snapping Posen's 25-game winning streak in the 69-56 final. Going over to Posen, the boys basketball team has left a mark in the school's history books this season, winning its first outright North Star League title, back-to-back districts, and tallying 17 wins in a row. In the first round of regionals, the Tigers played an easier game against the Vikings from Melanson, winning 72-40. But tomorrow, their regional stage gets even bigger as they take on Cedarville, a team that topped Hillman in double overtime during last year's regional finals.
These are things you dream of as a player, and even as a coach being in this situation. We've never had a regional title. It's been the year of first for Hillman, so hopefully we can keep that momentum and maybe get that.
We don't want this to be our seniors' last game, or we don't want to stop. We want to keep going. We want to go as far as we can.
Cedarville and Hillman are ranked in the top 10 in Class D, and if Hillman is able to avenge last year's loss, the Tigers will be 2 games away from the state final, a stage they have only dreamt of.
The guys always joke around talking about Michigan State and being Keith Appling and Denzel Valentine, and so now they got a shot to maybe play on the same floor if they do things right here the next 2 games.
South on 23, Augrey Sims is another team looking to win its first ever regional title. This season, the Wolverines broke many records themselves, winning the school's first district title in 21 years before topping Boyne Falls last night for their first regional win since 1968. Tomorrow, Augrey looks to top Frankfort in its regional finals, continuing a season that has been 4 years in the making.
When we were all freshmen, we got to witness one of the most talented Augrey Sims basketball teams ever, and they came close to winning district, but they ended up losing that game.
It means a lot to everybody just because Augrey's never done it before, and very few teams in the league go that far. Like we said, we represent our league, our family, our community, represent it all.
After last night's victory, the Wolverines have won 4 straight games, giving them a 15-6 record going into tomorrow's matchup with the 18-6 Panthers.
We haven't really given up yet. We came close. We came like in the Hale game. We almost just completely faltered, but we stayed in it and we just kept our heads strong. It was a lot better when we were all acting as a team rather than trying to be individuals.
That's it for your sports this Wednesday morning. Ashley, back to you.
Thanks, Shannon. Well, for a look at what we can expect outside today, let's turn it back over to meteorologist Adam Claiborne. Adam.
All right, thank you, Ashley. Temperatures this morning on the mild side. We are seeing mostly 40s and 30s, 35 degrees in Gaylord, 40 up in Rogers City. Do have that very cold pocket of air right here at the tip of the mitten. You can see that in the very dark blue. But here in Palpina, 43 degrees, and down in Tawas City, also 43 degrees. Right now, across all the region and across the United States, you can see mostly 40s, 42 back to Minneapolis, 53 down in Omaha, still 60 down in St. Louis. A much warmer air mass has engulfed the United States, but colder air is on its way, and you can see that way back into Montana with the deeper blues, and also in northern North Dakota. And that will start to push its way over towards us by the end of the day and by tonight. Satellite and radar, a lot of clouds across the region. Also, some rain showers making their way through Wisconsin. Not going to be seeing any of that, as most of that should start to dive off to the south, and we will be watching out by tonight, maybe for some very isolated light snow showers, and maybe then by Wednesday, that's when our better chances of snow do start to make their way in. Current winds 6 miles per hour in Alpena, 3 miles per hour, so not too breezy. We'll see more of the winds by tonight with that colder air mass starting to make its way into our region. What's ahead for us? Well, a mild winter morning for us, as temperatures are currently in the 40s and the upper 30s. Dreary and quiet throughout the afternoon, but here comes more of the Arctic air by tonight, and that is when temperatures will really start to drop off, seeing more of the lower teens for overnight lows. And this all is going to be all because of the jet stream. As it starts to sag itself a little farther to the south, we'll be on the northern side, and this is pretty much our barrier between the Arctic cold air to the north and the warmer air to the south. And since we will be on the northern side, that's why our temperatures will begin to cool back off. We have been on the southern side, and as we take a look at Futurecast, here comes that little small strip of moisture and rain. As it does make its way through, you can see how it goes to the south, but then by late tonight or early Wednesday, some of that tries to sneak its way up towards us, and we'll see how much snow we actually get. For right now, it doesn't look like it's going to be much, but we will continue to keep an eye on that for you and keep you updated on everything. 39 degrees during our afternoon hours before really cool air starts to make its way in by tonight. 12 degrees for our overnight low. Northwest winds at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Our extended outlook will be in the teens on Wednesday with a small chance of snow before things really clear out for us Thursday and Friday, starting to get back in the 40s, and another chance of snow comes in on Saturday.
Thank you, Adam. Coming up next on WBKB Early Morning, 5 days into the search for a missing airliner, and now Malaysia's Air Force chief is denying reports that radar shows the flight changed course. Stay tuned. Good morning and welcome back. I'm Ashley Reed. In national news, 5 days into the search for a missing Malaysian airliner and still absolutely no trace of it. Authorities in the country are facing mounting pressure to work harder and faster. CBS's Marley Hall has the story.
Malaysia's Air Force chief now denies reports that military radar showed Flight 370 changed course and made it to the Strait of Malacca before disappearing, and that's giving way to even more frustration and confusion. Malaysian and Chinese officials held a meeting today to discuss search efforts, amid criticism authorities there are not working hard enough or fast enough. Dozens of ships, including 2 U.S. Navy destroyers, are combing the seas around Malaysia and Vietnam. They're traveling in precise parallel lines, looking for any sign of the plane. Experts say a water search is difficult.
You've got to deal with currents, you've got to deal with visibility, you've got to deal with things like wind and waves if the ocean acts up.
The Malaysia Airlines jet vanished without warning Saturday during a trip from Kuala Lumpur to Beijing. Investigators are looking into a number of explanations, including mechanical failure, hijacking, and sabotage. CIA Director John Brennan says terrorism should not be ruled out.
We know that there are terrorist groups that are still determined to carry out attacks, including especially against aircraft.
Malaysia's Prime Minister is asking relatives of the 239 people on board to be patient. Marley Hall, CBS News.
Family members of a few of the passengers are pushing the Malaysian airline to search for the GPS location of their loved ones' cell phones after saying they'd successfully placed calls to them. But now we're going to take one last look at weather. Adam?
Thanks again, Ashley. 43 degrees, west-northwest winds are at 6 miles per hour. We do have a few clouds out there, but they will begin to thicken as we head throughout the afternoon. You can see it right now making its way in from west to east. Actually, a disturbance back here providing some very light rainfall through Wisconsin, and temperatures are actually above freezing. So we're going to be noticing that everything that does fall will be in the form of rain, but most of this should push off to our south. Not going to be noticing a lot of precipitation here in northeast Michigan. It's probably not going to be until very late tonight, into the wee hours of Wednesday morning, that some moisture tries to sneak in here, but that is also when the colder air will be here. So we'll be expecting temperatures to be below freezing, and it should be in the form of snow. 39 degrees though for afternoon highs. Temperatures will begin to cool off, and we'll see that our temperatures will be in the teens by tonight, and the winds will begin to pick back up as well, as they will be anywhere between 10 to 15 miles per hour. And like I said before, watch out for the snow. It may be in here as early as very early Wednesday.
Thank you, Adam. We'll be sure to tune in tonight for WBKB 11 News at 6 for updates in news, sports, and weather. Lindsay Adeluca will have the latest in local news. Meteorologist Adam Claiborne will have the weather. And Shannon McGrattan will have all of your updates from the world of sports. Also, don't forget, you can read more about our broadcast stories and get the scoop on other news items online. Just visit WBKB11.com for sports, weather, and news updates anytime, day or night. Or add us on Facebook at facebook.com/WBKBTV. That's all we have for you today on WBKB Early Morning. Have a great morning, and Good Morning America's up next.